head and shoulders the best player in baseball.
Without a doubt.
And they have Justin Upton, who's a very good player. And Simmons is coming along, especially fielding, but he hit like close to 300 last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got, obviously, Pujols on the decline, but you have Justin
Pujols is more than on the decline. He's
just about done, but he's going to still move up the charts in a lot of rankings, I think.
Yeah, he's still good for 20 home runs, I would say.
All right,
and
so
you'll take that.
You'll take that, right?
Cozart is a middle lineup guy. Good glove. You still don't know where you're playing him, second or third, because both positions are wide open. And he'll be all right. He'll bat 270, give you somewhere in that, and you'll take that. But he's not.
Cozart, maybe 240.
No, if he has a good year, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Up to his
no,
abilities.
I like Cozart though. Like he's solid.
He
was like a highly touted prospect. He kind of I guess never lived up to potential per se, but he's been a solid career player. He's still around.
You know what you're getting with Cozart. You're not going in and be like, you're not worried about him, and you're not expecting out the world out of him.
No.
So he's a good guy, middle lineup.
Yeah.
Once you figure out where he's playing, you plug him in.
And then they added Jonathan Lucroy, which was a big move.
Yeah, I'm a big Lucroy guy. I think he's a very reliable.
He's good.
Pitcher.
He's good with pitchers, but
exactly.
Look at their pitching, and there's not
it's bad.
It's not that. They have a lot of guys that are interesting though, and all their names are like that. They confuse me sometimes.
the big name.
I like. All right, Andrew Heaney was decent last year. Tyler Skaggs is solid too, and then Nick Tropiano I think got hurt. They got Trevor Cahill, who actually had a very good year on the A's last year, but he's like a number 4 guy. And then, I don't know which Ramirez that is. I'm not familiar with him. Yanmar? J.C. Ramirez, 30-year-old guy. What did he do? Okay.
He went 0-2
with the 9.45 ERA last year, so we didn't do, that's why we don't know him. And then you go to Matt Harvey, so we know all about that. Yeah, exactly. And then they lost the guy, Matt Schumacher, right?
Yeah.
He went to the Blue Jays.
Yep.
So, yeah, they still got a lot of holes to fill.
So just a big name, though. Them getting Matt Harvey, there's no risk to that. It's a cheap deal. Short term. What? What are you talking about? What's funny about that?
Because you keep looking like you're looking at the camera.
I'm looking out the window.
Oh.
This is good.
All right.
We'll edit that.
I'll keep that in there. All right, anyway.
Matt Harvey, there's no risk to him.
No risk. You know what?
You're not signing. If he plays, he plays. If he's good, he's good. If he's bad, get rid of him. There's no risk involved.
It's like whatever.
You're
he's just
thinking
bottom
about
of the pile now.
You're thinking
I got a jersey with the
fan.
tags on it. If anyone wants to buy it, I still never wore it.
You're thinking of him as the Mets Matt Harvey, where you have all this invested into him. The Angels have nothing invested into him. If you get anything out of him, it's good. If you get nothing out of him, then nothing's happened. The rotation stinks, though. As you said earlier, they have 5 number 4s. These are guys that would...
No, we're not talking about... The Angels don't have 5 number 4s.
Is that what you said it was?
No, that was the Rangers, my friend.
Oh.
They have 5 number 6.
That's a fair point. I think Skaggs could give you a little more than a 6. And that's... Yeah, the Angels can be summed up in 2 words. Oh boy. Angels can be summed up in 2 words. That's Mike Trout. He'll win MVP, as he should every year probably. And outside of that, don't expect much from the Angels.
Yeah, pretty much, but I hope I get the number 1 pick so I get him in fantasy. That's the only... I love Mike Trout too. I mean, he's a likable guy. And
he's the face of baseball.
He's honestly probably the best player in sports right now. I think Mike Trout is a better baseball player than LeBron James is a better basketball player.
That's taking this in a whole nother direction.
All right, food for thought. Anyway, we're moving on to the next team. So our next team, we're going to the Astros. Their rotation is solid, but someone's got Tommy John surgery, I heard. I forget. Is it McCullers that got Tommy John? I don't know.
I would have to check.
But I love Garrett Cole. Verlander, another year older. He pitched well last year, though. This guy, Josh James, I'm hearing good
Lance
things
McCullers.
about. See, yeah, Lance McCullers has Tommy John, so he's not going to be a factor. Their bullpen's okay. Then, obviously, the middle infield with Correa and Jose Altuve, one of the best, if not the best in baseball, probably the best. George Springer in the outfield, I like at center. They signed Michael Brantley into a big deal. He got paid a lot.
Deal, yeah.
And then Alex Bregman at third. Catcher Chirinos, okay. And then they got that Stassi guy who's like an up-and-coming prospect sort of guy. All right. I mean, their team they're going to be, are they one of the best teams in the league to you? What do you think?
Yeah, without a doubt, they're up there as a top contender, one of the favorites to win the World Series. You look at their infield, the third base, short, second base, those guys are great. You could argue there's 4 guys that will be in potential for the All-Star game. Brantley is an elite player when he's healthy. Springer, great. Reddick's really good. Catcher is the only place where is the only position where you're like, it could be better. But when you have the offense that the rest of the lineup's going to give you, you don't have to worry about that at all. Their pitching, their rotation, you could argue it's the best in baseball when it's all healthy and complete. And they still are going to probably pick up a depth guy, you would think, to fill in for spots.
Yeah, I think they got to add another guy to the rotation, honestly, because McCullers
available.
Oh, that's right.
So
That's right. If they don't have Keuchel, it's a whole different story. I mean, he wasn't great last year, but he's still pretty damn. On any other team, he's one of the best pitchers.
If you throw Keuchel out as your 4, you've got a very good rotation.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great rotation.
Brad Peacock in the bullpen.
Oh, that's right. I forget. I like Brad Peacock a lot. He's a great 5-inning guy, really.
The Astros have some. You could argue their one flaw is getting to their closer. The 7th, 8th inning guy when it's not Peacock or someone else.
Yeah.
Because, Devinsky, Harris, those guys are good. But in big moments, they have failed. You saw that when they played the Yankees.
Oh, adding Ryan Presley from the Twins last year, I remember being a big move. He's solid.
That helps.
Hector Rondon, all right.
That's the thing. You got a lot of guys that are like,
is that Joe Smith they got also from the Twins?
I believe
he's
so.
Okay.
You got a lot of guys that they're good. They're okay, but you don't have like the Yankees who have that Britt, Green, the Betances, Chapman.
Those guys are
what you really want. And they have a lot of B+ to A-.
Yeah, they're
guys.
probably like middle of the pack bullpen, I'd say.
Yeah, I would agree. If you put them somewhere, they're
12 to 15 range.
12 to 17, I was gonna say. Yeah. But it's not gonna, because odds are most games they're gonna be up by 4+ runs in the 6th inning. They're gonna win.
They had a lot of injuries last year. Correa and Altuve never really played at the same time last year. I felt like it was one or the other that was out.
And they have Diaz to fill in. Who's a good substitute. And
we're assuming that they're going to lose Marwin Gonzalez, right?
Yeah, just because of roster. How it shapes up. But the Astros, they're a contender.
Who I think is an excellent utility guy for the Yankees or Mets, which we didn't get into. But he's a great utility guy for any team. Everyone needs a Marwin Gonzalez.
That's that Ben Zobrist, Marwin Gonzalez type player.
Exactly.
Guy who can play 8 positions.
Yeah. All right, so next team. We got the Oakland Athletics. How do you feel about Oakland? I don't think they're going to relive the same magic they had last year. That being said...
What's the manager's name? Melvin? What's his first name? Bob Melvin?
Oh, Bob Melvin. Yeah, he's a good manager. One of the best.
Top 5 in baseball.
The corners. I mean, Matt Chapman and Matt Olson are 2 of the best...
Yeah.
That's one of the best combos in the league, with like Chris Bryant and Rizzo, right?
And they added Profar.
And then they got Profar, who's going to be playing second now. Simeon at short is not a good fielder, but a decent hitter. Piscotty and right, it's solid.
Big Piscotty guy. Lorenzo.
Piscotty or Biscotti?
Piss.
Oh, okay. You're not a big Biscotti guy? Oh, okay. Just checking.
But I agree with you. And Chris Davis
they
is going
lost
to hit.
Sean Manaea is their best pitcher, and
Yeah.
he was hurt last year, right?
Most of the year.
I really like Lou Trevino out of the bullpen. He was a
Yeah.
sleeper rookie, almost a rookie of the year candidate.
Mm-hmm. He was a surprise guy that he would roll up and you'd see his numbers and be
a couple
like,
of older guys like Soria and Rodney, it looks like. But they're starting pitching. They lost Trevor Cahill. That was big.
Mm-hmm.
They kept Fears. He's solid.
He's
I really think they're going to be their shape up being their number 2. Triggs is okay.
He's their number 2 because they don't have
right
anyone
now.
else.
We're looking on MLB.com and they don't even have 5 guys in the rotation. Where some, I mean, like their depth chart of pitchers as of right now going into
the A's were good last year because they outworked
spring
teams,
training,
and they just coached themselves to be way better than they actually were. Would not expect them to be a playoff team this year. They're going to be gritty. They're going to be tough to play against like they always are because Melvin. But maybe they'll be about a 500 team.
Yeah,
80,
like I said,
80
Chapman
wins.
and Olsen are the guys to look at there, especially if you're doing fantasy baseball. We'll start dabbling in some fantasy baseball people I like on every team, but those 2 on this team are my guys. And then Lou Trevino, a sleeper out of the bullpen.
I agree.
All right, who do we got next?
Blue Jays.
Toronto Blue Jays, always kind of like a lot of baseball.
They got an ace.
Well, but their big guy is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., right? That is the guy to look at. Son of Vlad Guerrero.
Wow, how about that?
How about that?
Junior's related to senior.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is related to Vladimir Guerrero. How about that, guys?
I mean, they got guys.
They didn't want to bring him up last year because of that whole deadline thing. If you bring a guy up before this date, then you lose him for this year or whatever down the line. So they didn't really bring him up. Did he play at all last year? I don't think he did.
Remember him playing.
I don't even remember.
And they won't bring him up till the end of.
Really, this year?
Because then they get the
Okay,
extra
so an
year.
interesting guy now is Brandon Drury, who they got in the Yankee trade, right? Who did they? Hap.
Yep, Jay Happ.
Okay, I like Brandon. Brandon Drury. Ugh. He's got a tongue twister name. Brandon Drury is a lot like Marvin Gonzalez and Ben Zobrist in my mind. A kind of a guy you can move around, play a lot of positions.
But he's a doubles machine. If you look at the numbers,
that's what I like. These double guys.
Because the point you made earlier, you got to guy lead off the end double. You got to run in scoring position.
And then you go. Really, they just got a lot of mediocrity around everything. Justin Smoke had probably a career year last year.
Yeah, you know what
Kendrys Gonzalez would be the DH.
Jansen and Martin will split.
Oh, this guy, Jansen, he is supposed to be a major prospect from what I hear. One of the top catching prospects.
And he's got a great guy to learn from in Russell Martin. If you want to learn
All
from
right,
someone how
so
to catch,
they have that, but it's like you got to look at teams and building blocks. So they signed Matthew Schumacher. They project him to be the number 4 starter. I don't know who Baraki is.
Yeah, I'm not a. Right.
And there's still rumors that they might trade Marcus Stroman. So I don't know how their rotation is going to pan out.
4 and 6, 3.
And that's not Anibal Sanchez. What is that? Marco Sanchez?
No, isn't it?
That's Marco Stroman. Aaron Sanchez. Anibal Sanchez is on the Braves.
Yeah,
I think we'll get to
Tigers,
that.
Yeah. This Baruki guy, however you pronounce it, is a young kid.
No, Aaron Sanchez, he's always had elbow issues. He's a pretty interesting reliever, though. Not reliever, starter. He's got good stuff, but he's never really been able to stay healthy.
And one thing with the Blue Jays, this is just a personal opinion, Giles is their closer, and he stinks.
Yeah, he's struggled.
Horrible.
With Philadelphia, he struggled, and then he went to Houston, and he sucks, and he lost that job.
Awful, shouldn't have a job.
Yeah. Not a lot to look forward to in Toronto. I think they'll be...
Oh, boy.
I think they'll win, 70 games.
They'll be the 4th best team in the AL.
70 games? So what does that make them if they win 70 games?
70 and 92.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They'll be the 4th best team in the AL East behind the Yankees, Red Sox, and Rays.
All right, Braves. I mentioned them a little with Anibal Sanchez. I think they still have him. No, I'm sorry. Disregard that. All right, the Braves. I think they're still going to be one of. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzie Albies are two of the best young players in all of baseball. Wow, that's exciting. And then they got Swanson 2 years ago. Disappointing. This this past season was pretty solid. They signed Josh Donaldson, Freddie Freeman at first, one of the best first basemen. They get back Brian McCann. They tag him with Tyler Flowers after losing Kurt Suzuki to the Nationals. Their rotation, I like the rotation. I always get their guys a little confused. They got Mike Fulton Weiss and Sean Newcomb. Kevin Gausman is a 3.
He's a 5.
He's a 5, really. Tehran is like a number 1 against the Mets and like a number 5 against every other team.
Tehran's got filthy stuff, but he can't put it
stay
together. He's like a lesser Nathan Eovaldi. Nathan Eovaldi's now figuring it out. Julio Tehran has to do that same thing. Put his stuff all together.
And now they're talking about trading possibly Ender Inciarte. I don't think they should do that. I think he's one of the guys that does everything pretty well.
Yeah, I would. Especially
high average, scores runs.
They don't have that depth in the outfield that they could do
if they don't. I'm assuming Nick Markakis is gone. He is a free agent. They got Adam Duvall now. I didn't realize that. Yeah. He's a solid guy to have. And their let's go to what about their bullpen? They got Johnny Venters, Dan Winkler in the bullpen, Max Fried, I think that is Vizcaino, AJ Minter. All right, they got a lot of guys that are question marks in the bullpen, is what I say.
Stereotypical
I would just
young
draw a
team.
question mark over it. Yeah,
but they got the pieces.
Easily two of the best young players in baseball.
And Freddie Freeman, top 10 player.
And a top 10 player. I wouldn't put Acuna Jr. in or Albies in that conversation yet, but they're probably
MVP.
Top 30 guys, I would say.
Who? Albies and Acuna?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could argue that. I don't see how there could definitely be more guys better than that, especially with their youth and how they play.
Where are they ranked in fantasy? Let's see.
But without a doubt,
Ozzie Albies is ranked 41st, but this is with pitchers, so I'm talking position players. And Acuna is ranked number 16 in fantasy baseball.
So those guys are good. You don't have to worry about them.
All right.
The Braves, they're good.
Do you think they're the favorites in the division?
No, not with the Nationals.
You think the Nationals are?
Especially if the Nationals
with their pitching, but minus Bryce Harper.
If minus Bryce Harper.
All right, well, we'll get to that when we get to the Nationals. But next, we'll dive into the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're really just the last 2 years. It's boom, boom, boom. Any guy we can get our hands on, they're trading for or signing. I've always hated Brian Braun. I really never liked the guy ever since he lied about the steroids things and all that, but. They get Christian Yelich, who is the reigning MVP now.
Just fell short of the Triple Crown.
So they have him, and Lorenzo Cain was one of the leaders in WAR last year.
And he's a
big signing for him last year. Lorenzo Cain with the Royals, yeah. And then we'll go to Jesus Aguilar at first, had a good year. Solid, and then they just the big get was Grandal. He'll be a pivotal in that lineup to pair with Manny Pena, probably a catcher.
The only thing with Grandal that you worry about is how horrible he was defensively.
But they say he's great at framing pitches, though.
Framing and his arm's great, but blocking, horrible.
Well, that's what Sanchez is.
In the NLCS, he was a disaster for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
There's a reason he stopped playing. And, will he hose a guy trying to steal second? Will he steal you a couple strikes a game? He will. But the amount he let through is a major concern. It's an effort thing. Blocking balls, all you have to do is put in the work, put in the effort, get in front of the ball, and block it. It's not framing pitches like he does is a skill. You can't teach that. Though having an arm like that, you can't teach that. It's just who you are. Blocking a ball in the dirt is all effort. He just has to put his mind to it and do it. It's same with Sanchez. Same with any catcher, and no matter what level, who doesn't block.
Yeah, their starting pitching is suspect, but their bullpen is honestly, I think they might have the best bullpen in baseball.
Led by Hader.
But Jeremy Jeffress had a sensational year. He helped me a lot in fantasy last year. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little
biased.
A little, slightly. Those are the big guys. And Corey Knebel, too. They got a solid bullpen, one of the better ones. Jacob Barnes is solid. And starting pitching is still suspect, though. Who did they acquire? Chas? Did they have? No, they had Chasen last year.
They picked up someone.
I thought they got someone. Chase Anderson? Was that the guy they got? No, they had him too. He looks like he's like 50. He looks like
31.
Kurt Schilling does now. A little.
That's never a good compliment.
Anyway.
I don't know. They picked up. But the Brewers are going to be what they were last year. Really good team, led by their offense, led by Yelich. He's their guy. He's going to be another top 5 MVP candidate. He'll go.
Yeah, so their hitting is going to be good, but their pitching, they need to sign another pitcher. I think if they don't get another starting pitcher, I don't even see them making the playoffs. Really, I think they'll drop.
I think their offense can lead
with the Cubs and Cardinals in that division. Come on,
there's 2 wild card spots now. It's not the old days where you have to win the division. I could definitely see them being a contender for a playoff spot.
All right. Transitioning to the St. Louis Cardinals, the biggest acquisition of their offseason, obviously Paul Goldschmidt, maybe the best first baseman, along with Freddie Freeman in baseball. So that was huge, and they really didn't give up much for him, considering. Then you go to the outfield, they got Marcelo Zuna last year. He didn't have the greatest of years, but I think he'll have a better year this year. Then they have Harrison Bader, Tyler O'Neill, Dexter Fowler. That's pretty solid outfield, I would say, those 4. Middle infield, they have Wong and DeJong. I like Paul DeJong. He's a good power guy. Matt Carpenter shifting back to third with Goldschmidt coming in. He had a great second half last year. We all know he was dominant in the second half. Yadimir Molina,
there you go.
One of the best catchers in baseball. Top 5.
On the decline, though.
On the decline for sure, but he had a damn good year last year.
Yeah, he's still a very good player.
Considering one of his testicles almost went into his stomach last year.
That's a very valid point.
Then they have Jose Martinez, who they're kind of using as trade bait.
Yeah, they're definitely going to dangle him out there, see if there's any interest, because he's not going to fit in the roster.
This is a call. I think this is a GM making a phone call. They're offering someone for Jose Martinez right now. FL, is that? Oh, the Florida Marlins want Jose Martinez? Miami Marlins, that's right. What does Jeter want right now? I don't have time for him. All right.
It's arguing with yourself.
Back to the rotation. What do you think? Mike Mikolas, right?
Yeah, he's good.
He's
had a great year.
Carlos Martinez.
Good.
Jack Flaherty. Michael Wacha, Adam Wainwright. Their rotation is solid.
It's good. Yep. They have an ace. He 18-4 last year.
Mikolas was 18-4?
And he had like a 3-star ERA. Went under the radar.
And Carlos Martinez didn't
good.
They move him to the bullpen at some point last year?
I thought
to make him the closer, I think.
He struggled a bit, and there was issues in the bullpen, and I think they moved him. I don't remember for certain, though, but I do remember something like that. The Cardinals are really good. Goldschmidt makes them a billion times better because he had a player like Gold. You could argue he's the third best player in the game. I think there's value arguments. He's a complete player.
Goldschmidt? He's
a 5-tool guy. He's up there. He's in the top tier of baseball when it comes to talent.
Yeah, I agree.
Yachty. Oh, you know what you're getting with him, and you're getting his leadership.
So you think they win the division? With the Cubs and the Brewers?
They're better than the Brewers. Yeah, good question. I don't know, because Cubs are good.
Cubs, let's
and they
see
got
if they make a little sleeper move.
And they got the experience. They still got that same core. I would take the Cardinals in the Central. And their bullpen's good. Adam Miller, who has elbow issues.
Andrew Miller.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another. Yeah, so they got Andrew Miller. Oh, and Jordan Hicks, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, no,
and
their
they got
bullpen's solid. Chase and
Brett
Shea,
Cecil.
Brett Cecil.
Luke Gregerson was
They got
great
a good
for
bullpen
Team
too.
USA
They
in the
have a
World.
good bullpen. Listen, the Cardinals are they're probably a top 5 team.
I wouldn't say they're the premier contenders in the Yankees, Astros sphere, Red Sox, Dodgers, but they're right below them.
All right, so they're in like the 5 to 7 range.
Yeah, they're a top 10 team. They're very good, a lot of potential, and if they get hot at the right time, they can make a run.
Good thoughts. Next, we got
Cubs.
Now, speak of the division, we have the Cubs. All right. Well, we got Rizzo and then Chris Bryant, of course. Javier Baez had a great year last year. I don't think he repeats, though. That's just it. Can he do what he did last year? He had he almost got like a triple crown. I felt like.
He stole the triple crown from.
We like Zobrist filling in around, but not necessarily every day.
He's good enough every day.
Ian Happ kind of had a disappointing year last year, but he's one also guy that can play like second base and outfield, I think. Then you got, Schwarber with the power in outfield. Like he's just a DH, man. He's got to go to the American League.
Rizzo?
No, Kyle Schwarber.
Oh yeah, he's horrible. He's better since he's lost the weight, but he's still not a good defender.
And then I think Albert Almora Jr. is supposed to be an up-and-coming guy. And then Hayward kind of never, broke out as we thought. And then Contreras, good catcher. But their lineup, they got 3, really, wow guys with Baez, Chris Bryant, and Rizzo.
And Schwarber's bets, unquestionable.
And Schwarber, yeah. So...
and Hayward.
And Contreras, they have a good lineup. They have a very good lineup. And then the rotation, Kyle Hendricks is solid. Hester, Cole Lester, I'm sorry, John Lester. Cole Hamels was great with them when they got him last year. And if he's your number 3, that's legit. Your 1, 2, 3 is great. I'm sorry, Yu Darvish. Oh, what a bust he was. And I don't even know when he'll pitch. And then Quintana is the number 6 and Mike Montgomery. So the rotation is solid.
Mm-hmm.
Bullpen, Brandon Morrow's great as a closer. Pedro Strop, also solid. Carl Edmonds Jr., Shizik, I've always been a fan of. And they're going to put Chatwood in the bullpen, probably as a long-term reliever, spot starter. Cubs, all right, so the Cubs are right with the Cardinals, I think, as a top 5 to 7 team. What do you think?
I agree. The Cubs, I think there's a legitimate argument just because of their premier talent and Chris Bryant, Baez, Rizzo, that they're up in that elite class. And I think the fact that they've won, you wouldn't be shocked if this team won 108 games and won again. The Addison Russell situation with his off the field issues.
No, I don't even count. I don't even talk about him because I feel like he won't even.
It's definitely going to be brought about in spring training in the locker room.
I don't like him.
I don't like him either, but it's definitely an issue that the players are going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
And it hurts them because then you could have Baez play second, and you could have Russell, who's still a pretty good player, but just take everything else out of it out. He's a good ball player, and it hurts the Cubs. But there's other issues. There's reasons he's on the restricted list. He's not going to play. But the Cubs are good. They're legit. They could win it again. They're a World Series or bust team just because of what they're on.
Yeah, but, payroll. Yeah. But do you think they'd make another big move? Could they get Harper?
I don't think they will because I don't think Harper will play.
So we'll get to the White Sox.
Yeah, we'll get to the White Sox are definitely a contender for Machado or Harper because of the money they have. But we'll get to them.
I think we might be getting to them then.
Here's the Cubs won't sign Harper because then they want to. Chris Bryant's going to be their guy they have to re-sign. And if you have that money to Harper, you're not going to be able to sign Chris Bryant because I believe they both have Boris. I could be wrong, but I think they both do. Both are going to get huge deals, and you can't have both. I mean, you can, but it just economically not going to happen. So that's the reason they don't get Harper or Machado.
Well, the Diamondbacks, who do they got now?
Greinke.
They got Greinke, yeah. They got
Taijuan
Greinke, Taijuan Walker, Zach Godley, Robbie Ray, Luke Weaver. Okay, the rotation's like Taijuan Walker always kind of like a high ERA and WHIP. Zach Godley is interesting, and Robbie Ray has potential. Steven Souza Jr. right, he gets injured a lot, but has a lot of
He's
talent.
a good ball player.
David Peralta in left, he's always been solid. Is that Jared? Jared Dyson? I don't even know. What is he?
Gerard Dyson?
He looks like he's like 45 there. Socrates Brito, he's been like a prospect guy. I don't know if he's ever going to pan out.
Yep. I don't know that much about Brito besides him being a prospect guy.
And then you got Jake Lamb, who's probably their best player.
He's by far their best player with Goldschmidt gone.
And Nick Ahmed and
good player.
And
Kendall
Marte. That's a good infield.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this Walker guy playing first. And catcher is
Avila.
Alex Avila. Where they get him from the Brewers?
You know what you get. Yeah, I would assume so. And this Christian Walker didn't play much. 27. He's just filling the spot basically.
I do like Hirano out of the bullpen. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I like him a lot. He had a great year.
Archie Bradley.
But I honestly, they'll probably be trade chips, maybe.
Yeah, I think they definitely are going to look.
I feel like Hirano keep, but maybe Bradley trade chip. I don't know.
Diamondbacks are starting the rebuild. If you deal with a player like Goldschmidt, then that shows.
But they got to build around someone, right? Do they build around Jake Lamb?
Jake Lamb, I would guess.
Okay.
Because
but they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not
I think undoubtedly they probably try to deal with Greinke at the deadline. Because that's a top end guy.
That will be interesting.
And
Who gets Zach Greinke at the trade deadline? Is he coming at the end of his deal though? He's getting paid heavy.
He's $30 million a year. I don't know how much longer is left.
Oh no, man. If
he's
got an expiring deal, then yeah. But I don't think anyone wants to touch the.
I think if the Diamondbacks just to unload the deal, if there's the right offer there to start it,
pay some of it.
They would throw in Greinke and a good prospect, ship him to New York or something. Give the Yankees that other pitcher to match the Astros.
But they're not going to sniff the playoffs.
Yeah,
so
they're not good enough.
We'll move on to the next team quickly. To the Dodgers, who...
Another contender.
Yeah, they'll definitely be a contender.
Going for the third straight World Series appearance.
Yeah. Kershaw, I don't think he's the best pitcher in baseball anymore.
I do not either. I think that goes to Scherzer.
But I still want him on my fantasy team. I never had him. Anywho, Corey Seager, is he going to be back right away?
Because he's not a pitcher. I'd assume he's available. He's not listed on the injury report at all. So, I would assume.
Okay, and then their depth chart is really confusing. It's like they have Bellinger at first, and then outfield. Then I thought Max Muncy was in outfield, but now they have him playing first and second. Yeah. What the heck is going on?
Muncy's their first baseman.
He is.
Yeah,
I thought he was an outfielder.
He was originally.
Oh my God, this team is weird.
The thing with Max Muncy though, he's had a great first 1 year. Yeah. Is he going to do that again? Was that a fluke? You don't know.
Okay, and then Justin Turner, who is the guy that the Mets got rid of. And,
Just a reminder, he's a former Met.
Yeah, I don't like the beard, though. Gotta get rid of that. Anyway.
Criticizes him because he left.
Yeah. Let's go. They also have David Freese off the bench still.
He's always going to be clutch.
Catcher with Grandal leaving, they kind of have a hole there. I know that Barnes guy's been like a prospect, but I don't know if he's an everyday catcher.
That's definitely a hole they're going to try to fill.
And they have one of the better rotations, I'd say. But Kershaw, Walker, Buehler, good. Ryu, Rich Hill, Stripling. That's solid. And Kenter Maeda. Okay, that's good. Bullpen is also up there with Kenley Jansen, but he had freaking heart surgery, right? I mean,
yeah.
How good can he recover from that?
Hopefully pretty good.
All right, yeah. And then Joe Kelly was the big signing they made so far, but Pedro Baez, I believe. Okay. And Josh Fields, I think that's it. Tony Cingrani. Their bullpen's good too. All right, so they have one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. Honestly, I'd say they have a top 5 pitching staff, top to bottom, with the bullpen and rotation.
I agree.
Their lineup could be. I don't know. I mean, I guess their lineup's pretty good too.
The offense is there in the lineup, but it's whether it shows up or not. Yeah, on paper,
they got
it's
a lot
a
of
good
question
lineup.
marks. Yeah.
Bellinger's a
Jock
great
Peterson
player.
too. He's always like, anyway.
Turner, they got the guys to have a really good offense. It's on paper though. You'll have to see when they take the field whether it actually lives up to that on paper hype. And the rotation, like you said, it's elite. They got an ace in Kershaw and they got a young ace in Buehler. This kid's a stud. He's one of the future greats of the game, I think. Not all time, but in the game. He's the real deal.
Yeah. All right,
he's sensational.
Putting an asterisk next to his name on my fantasy baseball rankings as a target.
In big game situation, Dodgers
Buehler
over Kershaw.
Really?
10 out of 10. That's the smart move.
That's a bold statement.
Big game. Kershaw stinks. Proven fact.
Well, that's true. All right. Oh, but we can look at. All right. So we're looking at the San Francisco Giants next. Obviously, they have Buster Posey, Brandon Bell at first, Joe Panik at second, Brandon Crawford, Evan Longoria. I mean, they got a solid team. It's not like, oh my God, good, but
they got a lot of guys that 3 years ago would have been very good.
Exactly. That's a great point.
Longoria a couple of years ago, really good. Crawford, when they were making those runs to the World Series, Panik, Bell, even Posey's still very good. Still, I consider him the best catcher in the game. But he's still
Top 3. Top 3.
Yeah, all right. But he's still an elite player.
Yeah, no. I argue he's the best. You can.
Yeah. But, good talk. But, no, but it's just outside. There's no there's that guy.
And except Bumgarner, who and Cueto. I mean, Bumgarner and Cueto at the top of the rotation, but Cueto was hurt. And Samardzija, what's his ERA career like? 5.32.
He's the most. He's the most. He's the most talented guy who's consistently not that good.
I think he was actually a football player, though.
Really?
You know what? I think he was a quarterback, actually.
His career a 4.17.
Yeah, he went to Notre Dame. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 4.17. It's actually better than I thought.
But the Giants, they're not going to be that good. Another year.
Yeah, and the big question is, do they trade Madison Bumgarner? We heard rumors of the Milwaukee Brewers, but do they actually pull a trigger?
Basically, there's been a rumor of Bumgarner
for 2 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
they haven't been good in 2 years. And I think Bruce Bochy?
Yep.
I think he could be on his way out soon. He's probably one of the most tenured managers in the game.
He's also arguably the best manager.
Arguably the best. How many World Series? 2 or 3?
They won 3, 2010, 2012, 2014. But, but Giants fans, it sucks now, but you got your 3 rings.
Yeah,
you had your runs, 3 of them. You were a dynasty, if you consider that. I would 3 and 6.
It's crazy. What's his name? Just fell off the face of the earth, and he tried to come back last year. The pitcher.
Tim Lincecum. Yeah, the freaky franchise.
He was one of the better postseason pitchers too.
And he won Cy Young. So he was the best pitcher in the National League for a couple of years, but you got it till you don't.
Yeah.
And he lost it real quick.
Too small a frame to pitch at high velocity for long.
But he was great while he was good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't see them making the playoffs. Do you?
No, especially with the Dodgers, Diamondbacks
are better.
We'll move on
then to the next team, which is
the
Cleveland Indians. This is actually one of my favorite teams in baseball to talk about, because I think they have the best 2 of the top 5 best position players in baseball in Francisco Lindor and Jose Ramirez. They have, in fantasy baseball rankings, Ramirez ranked 3rd and Lindor ranked 4th.
Mm-hmm. They're undisputed. They're great defensive players. Well, Ramirez on a less offense. They're off the charts. Lindor, Correa's a better shortstop outside of Correa, who's better than Lindor. You can make a legitimate argument. There's no one better than.
I think shortstop's the best position in baseball. Right?
Yeah, with the level of talent, even if you look at like the Yankees, Didi's a great shortstop. Correa, Lindor, Seager. These are some of the best shortstops that ever played the game. Ramirez, offensively, elite. There's one of the best hitters in the game. You can't go wrong with either of them. And Kipnis, he has his flaws and he's not as good, but he's still a very good offensive player.
But they lose
too.
Michael Brantley, and a lot of
Big
the reason
loss.
why is because they have that outfielder that they think is going to be good. Who is it? I don't even see him listed here.
I don't know who you're referring to.
Jake, was it Jake Bauer? No, Jake Bauer's the guy in the trade,
With
I think, for
Tampa.
Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this outfielder that I thought they were talking about that's going to be solid? Is it Allen? It might be Allen. Click on him. I know Tyler Naquin's okay. They need another outfielder. Greg Allen, that might be it.
25, yeah, looks played, got one at bat in the postseason.
So, does it say where he was drafted? 6th round, 2014.
Debuted last 2 years,
All
September.
right, so
Could be him, young guy.
yeah, I know that's one reason why they let go of Brantley is because they felt they had an up and coming outfielder.
And you also got to remember when
but their starting pitching,
when
they
they-
might probably have the best rotation.
Yeah, I would say with Kluber, Carrasco, Bauer,
If they
Clevenger, Beal,
trade Kluber, obviously not. But
yeah. But when they made the run to the World Series, Brantley was hurt that entire run. So they can also look at Brantley. They
Yeah,
got
they did.
someone coming up, but he wasn't as valuable. You know, they took the 7 games in the World Series. They were in extra innings against the Cubs.
It says you can sign up now. That's bullshit. They must have just put started the drafts.
That's been there for like the whole time.
No, but the mock drafts aren't open yet. If this is open, then we must have opened it today.
I think it's a dead link.
Bullshit. All right, but and then they got Brad Hand in the bullpen. And Cody Allen's a free agent. I think he is like the guy that no one is talking about as a top tier free agent.
He's
I'm
an
a little
elite
confused by
relief
that.
pitcher.
I agree. I'm so confused by that. Unless people know something that we don't.
And there's an injury issue. And he's asking for something that he's not. Like Andrew Miller's injury issues with his elbow. Unless there's something like that, I don't understand why he is still available.
Yeah, me either. But I think he's a key player to watch going forward because I think whoever gets him is getting lucky.
Absolutely. Top reliever in the game. One of.
Right. But they're definitely top 5 team, I'd say, from the 5 to 7 range.
Absolutely. Because they get
I'm
the
just saying a
offense,
lot
they
of
get the
these teams,
pitch.
I think I ran out of teams to say in the 5 to 7 range. I said 3. I think I said the Cubs, the Cardinals, and the Indians are in the 5 to 7 range.
Yeah. I think, and I would put the Indians ahead of both of them.
So, like number 40, maybe even, potentially.
I would say no Pacific Order, the top teams, Yankees, Red Sox, Astros, Dodgers. And then
Indians.
it would be 5.
I think we went through the best teams already, so we can maybe even end this podcast early.
We got in the Nationals.
Well, we'll get to them, but there's a lot of media. Oh, we didn't even go to the Red Sox yet.
Yeah.
All right, we're still cruising along here. Our next team is the Mariners. Now, like I mentioned before, I'm a big fan of Malik Smith. I love Malik Smith. I look for him to break out this year. Huge, I think. They got Ryan Healy at first, Kyle Seager at third. Kind of like, They're both okay. Good. They're both like 240 hitters, I feel. D. Gordon, if they keep him and don't trade him.
I would assume they would.
Yeah?
Yeah.
J.P. Crawford, questionable whether he's an everyday shortstop catcher. They're kind of weak now.
You're not counting on him for the long term.
Yeah.
It's
and their rotation is like, but they just signed the Asian.
I was trying to pronounce his name this entire time.
Gucci?
Something like that. But that's their big
Marco
thing.
Gonzalez was decent last year. He had a bad second half in like a week, and then Felix Hernandez
is old.
He's been really falling off hard.
And but it's obvious the Mariners are going for the future, and because if you look at the deal with the Yankees, the big thing was getting Sheffield. So they got a young pitcher. They want to try to start getting more talent, start preparing for the future. Could they deal Gordon? Yeah. I don't think they will, though, because it still gives them some brand recognition in Seattle, and you always want to have some names. Because a lot of these other guys are like, meh, like journeyman MLBers. You know, they float around team to team. and there's not much hype around the Seattle. So you got their Japanese kid, who they're gonna want to see. He's gonna be interesting outside of Seattle. Outside of that, I don't see anything interesting happening from Seattle this year because they're giving up.
All right. So that's quick. They're definitely not going to make the playoffs.
Nope.
And they got Mitch Haniger, too. Don't forget him. Domingo Santana. And Jay Bruce. They could try to ship Jay Bruce even. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with him. So now we're going to the Marlins, probably the eyesore of Major League Baseball. Their rotation. Oh, they got Trevor Richards. All right, that's interesting. And they got Chen, who was a Royals pitcher for a while. I guess he'd be considered number 5 on a lot of teams.
Without a doubt.
Jose Urena is supposed to be up and coming. I know Drew Streckenrider as a closer, solid. Maybe trade bait even, though. What are your thoughts? I know Lewis Brinson was a guy they got in the trade. Realmuto obviously is the biggest question mark. What do they get for Realmuto? And you know why Cedar's holding out. He has to get something because they don't really have anything to build around.
The Marlins,
Brinson's not
the Marlins have 2 AAA teams. One in AAA, one in Major League.
Castro, they got to get something for it.
If you're on the Marlins and you're like anywhere above a half-decent ball player, you will be on a different team come August 1st. Without a doubt. They are the dumpster fire of the league and are undisputedly horrible.
Yeah, but they
and he's you could get a good haul for him. I'm not a blockbuster.
Who needs a second baseman? Or could Castro still play shortstop?
No, he doesn't have the range to play shortstop. Never really did.
Never did. Huh?
Who needs a second baseman? That's a great question. The Angels. Because then you could put Cozart at third, and you have Castro play second. Could fill a hole there.
What do the Angels have to offer in terms of prospects to the Marlins?
Absolutely. Well, any player on the Angels is 90% chance he's better than any player on the Marlins.
Yeah, but to keep long term. Because a lot of these guys in the Angels are on the decline. And obviously not like the big ones, but they're not trading the big ones. They're trading.
Yeah.
I don't even know who they would trade.
You would.
I don't know what their minor league system looks like.
I have no idea. There's no one of like, oh wow value where everyone knows who they are. Yeah. Like a Torres was, like a Soto was.
Yeah.
There's the Marlins are gonna completely bottom out, and they're gonna have to just rely on the draft because they're not gonna get a huge haul back. Realmuto, you're going to get a good prospect back, most likely, from a team that's really desperate.
You got to get 2 or 3 prospects.
But I'm saying you're going to get one guy that you think could actually, you're like, this is the guy we want. But he's not going to be like he's not a franchise player. You're just going to have to suck for 10 years, rebuild through the draft. And if there's still baseball being played in Miami, the team might end up in Montreal with the way it's going.
Oof, no, that'd be crazy after building a new stadium.
But Miami's not a baseball town. No, baseball won't work in Miami. I think, but it will be moved in within the next 15 years. Miami, there won't be baseball. It's just if you're in Miami, it's a nice day. You're not going to the ballpark. You're going to the beach.
Yeah,
it's simple as that. And when it's raining, you stay home.
I guess that makes sense. All right, let's move on to the next team. We've already spent 3.5 minutes on the Marlins. Probably. 3 minutes too many. 22 seconds would have been appropriate.
Now we go to a real team.
Maybe. The pitching wise, we look at their rotation. I guess
their top 3s can compete with anyone.
They got a top.
They got the best pitcher in baseball.
Top 5 rotation, probably top 3.
Yeah, but they're
all right. Let's go best rotations in baseball right now. Because I'm saying it's Nationals, Indians, Astros, Mets.
The top end puts them over, yeah.
And Yankees, maybe
even. Yeah, I mean they're one of the better 5, but they're not like as good as these guys.
Yeah.
Who else? Dodgers.
I think we named them.
Yeah, those are probably your
Phillies could be interesting with Aaron Nola.
Yeah, you'll see how the younger you'll see
if they get Keuchel.
Yeah, that's a big if.
Because that's
but they got the money.
Because Arrieta's kind of
money is not an issue when it comes to the Phillies, so they can sign anyone. But without it, the Nationals are a premier team, They're all in. They're still on Harper.
Finally, the mailman comes. It's only 4 o'clock.
But the Nationals, their World Series are bust. They got
Kirk Suzuki I like Kirk Suzuki a lot. He always gets like 15 homers.
Yeah, I agree.
RBI. I mean, that doesn't sound great for a catcher, but it kind of is. 15 home runs,
if
50
he catches
RBIs,
a good game and gives you that.
But he's a timeshare guy, so I don't know who this Key Boom is.
I'm assuming he's just going to back him up. But the key for the Nationals is they have to re-sign Harper. Because you re-sign Harper, then you move...
Trey Turner's a top guy, Soto's a top guy, Robles. So they got some young guys.
You sign
Harper.
Harper...
They let Harper walk, honestly.
But try not to let generational...
Be a free agent too.
And he wants Altuve money, I heard. Which was like $23 million a year. So, if you sign Harper, Eden becomes available for a trade. You sign Harper. You're keeping Soto and Robles, 2 younger guys. Harper plays right.
Adam Eaton's played 160 games.
He's a very good ball player.
Ryan Zimmerman, he rebound?
He's going to be gone with his...
Howie Kendrick's up there.
After this year, right? Is his deal up? So
bullpen is always the question mark with them, it seems.
Yeah, it's always been that.
But who did they get?
They tried to trade...
I like him. Rosenthal, okay. Doolittle, solid.
Who did they trade for? Melanson a year ago? And that didn't work.
Sure. After recording as long as we have been, I realized that it's way too much information. And we're just going to cut back to the contenders. Yeah. We're going to hop to the Phillies now. The biggest signing they just made was probably Andrew McCutchen, right?
Yep.
But they have Ryan Hoskins at first base. Gian Segura, they just get him this offseason.
Just picked him up.
And so they've had an interesting offseason. Herrera's nice in the outfield. Nick Williams could be interesting. Quinn, all right. Cesar Hernandez, I like him a lot. They have a pretty good lineup. Alfaro catcher. Their lineup is solid.
And they're still both in on... They're big on Machado.
So if they get one of them, that puts their lineup
I would say
the
they're
top.
Almost a lock for one of them. Because they have
That's what everyone's saying.
They have the ownership and the money to spend.
Probably got a 50% chance at acquiring one of the two. I don't know what that figures.
And I think they'd be more apt to get Harper. Because he can fit in right field easily. Because you got Franco and Segura. And
so then you might have the best outfield in baseball with McCutchen, Herrera, and Harper.
Brewers.
Maybe not. That was a stretch. Okay. But they're pitching. I mean, Aaron Nola is one of my favorite pitchers. Nick Arrieta.
But he's young.
I'm sorry, Jake Arrieta. He is young, but no, he had a Cy Young season.
Yeah, we'll see if he follows it up.
Nick Pivetta could have a breakout year, I've read. And they have Vince Velasquez and Zach Eflin, who are solid. They have, I'd say, one of the better rotations. And if they get Keuchel...
It's not a great rotation, but it's good.
It's one of the better ones, honestly.
I mean, you've said that about 12
Shut up! I said it about 7 or 8.
They're a very good team. They're in the contender.
Their bullpen with Robertson is nice.
They're a better version.
Hector
if they get Harper, they're a better version than the Braves. I would say it goes Nationals, Phillies, Braves. And the NL East.
You didn't say the Mets.
I was saying good teams. Teams.
Really? You're a hater like that? Oh,
I'm not a The Mets just aren't. They're not a contender.
That sat with me for a second. I was just trying to think.
One of those.
The Mets.
The Nats is a contender.
Moving on.
Phillies
Moving on.
Braves
Next contender
are on the rise.
All right. So the Red Sox,
World Series champion, Boston.
What else is there to say? They're not going to win as many games as they did last year, no matter what offseason move they make, because they're not going to get Harper or Machado. We know that. I don't want to talk about the Red Sox that long.
The big thing with them is arguably it's their last run at it, because they're gonna have to start paying Betts, gonna have to start paying
Price is gonna be free
Bogarts.
agent again, and he's not even.
And there's a bunch of guys that are up for the arbitration years that are gonna want to cash in.
Do they re-sign Drew Pomeranz? Because he could be one of the back end guys of their rotation.
He's a 3.
if he's a 3, then they should definitely keep him because then.
But are you going to spend the money because you're already over the luxury tax?
Rotation's okay.
Yeah, if you're rolling.
I like Porcello and Eovaldi, but I don't love them. And Price is okay. I mean, they got a. I'd say they got. I mean, obviously Chris Sale's a top number 1.
And the big thing is they're all
those guys
commodity.
are all like number 3s.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really have that legit number 2, I would say. But
yeah, they're proven. This
4s.
Team's proven they can win though. So I think they're going to try to just.
Question marks.
It was a question mark all the run last year.
They're not keeping Kimbrel.
I don't blame Kimbrel.
Or do they? They might.
Kimbrel in a big spot is not the closer he is regular season Kimbrel. No. Kimbrel struggles big time in big moments. He's not a clutch player.
No, but they also lost Joe Kelly to the Dodgers, right?
Correct. Yep. But
so their bullpen stinks.
It was bad last year with both those guys.
I think they'll be a lot worse. I see them winning. All right, whatever, 100 games, 98.
Because offense carries in the regular season.
In the playoffs, I don't think they'll get past the Yankees this year.
If they end up, well, Yankees, Red Sox both making the playoffs. One of them has to play that wild card game, and in that wild card game, the bullpen could cost them big.
The next team we're going to talk about is the White Sox, and when you look at them. They got a lot of prospects, a lot of relievers that could potentially turn into starters. Overall, they have probably one of the better farm systems. I know Michael Kopech is one of those guys, but he just got Tommy John, I think. Jace Fry in the bullpen, I know he's solid. Giolito's going to be their number 1. I mean,
and he's young. Big trade.
They just traded for Ivan Nova from the Pirates, but
he's nothing special.
He's like a number 4.
Yeah, at his best. He had one good game in the Yankees in the ALCS 2011.
Yeah, I know, former Yankee, but he was solid with the Pirates, actually. His ERA and WHIP are respectable.
If you put him in a big spot, he's not going to come through.
But we could maybe say the same about Severino.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
But Severino's talent is way above Abreu.
Could they use him as a chip? I don't know. Moncada, getting him in the Chris Sale trade, I think that's turned out to be a bust. I love Tim Anderson, though. He's one of my favorite players. As shortstop, he helped me a lot in fantasy baseball, by the way.
I mean, they got an elite defensive center fielder,
for a high
too.
average. He gets home runs. He's just a good player. But now the question is, do they get Harper or Machado or both? Imagine if they got both. That'd be crazy.
That would solve a lot of issues.
Theo Epstein will be shitting the bed in fucking Chicago.
They got the money to get either one. It's the Phillies, the Yankees, the White Sox have the money to sign either one of them. The White Sox, you feel, have to make the splash to compete with the Cubs because the Cubs are a World Series contender. White Sox are on the rebuild. So you'd think they'd bring in that big name to try to draw attention.
The owner of the Bulls, or did the owner of the Bulls pass away recently? Sure. But I thought he owned the White Sox. And
the owner of the White Sox did pass away.
And that was the owner of the Bulls, too.
He owned
the Bulls and Jerry Reinsdorf, I think. He owned the White Sox and the Bulls.
But the reason the White Sox are in the news is because they're big in on Machado, big in on Harper.
Yeah, they've been making... All right, they just signed his best friend, John Jay. Apparently that's his best friend, they said. And his brother-in-law plays for the team, too. His sister married
Whose
one
sister?
of the pitchers. Machado's sister, or something like that. Or he married this guy's sister. I forget which player it was, but I'm 100%.
We know, though, the deal, whatever they're going to give, if they do end up going after Harper, it's got to be more than what he turned down from the Nationals, which was 10 years, $300 million. Which
you would think.
So is it going to push you think? $400 million?
I don't know.
If Harper had a great year last year, I think there's no doubt it crosses.
But he didn't.
But it's still Bryce Harper.
It's like every other year he has an MVP type year.
Yeah, and you pay for that.
All right, let's move on because I don't think they're going to really make the playoffs this year. Even with Harper Machado, their pitching's not that great. I mean, they got some guys, but unless some of these guys really break out, I'm not that interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you go to the Rangers. I mentioned them before. They have like 5 number
6s.
5 starting pitchers.
No, they're bad. They're bad. The Rangers are bad.
They might be trading Mike Minor. He could be valuable to people. We got the Reds. They got some prospects.
They picked up
actually,
Puig, too.
And they got Puig. They got Suarez, who I like a lot. He was
Scooter
huge.
Jeanette.
Scooter Jeanette's awesome.
One
they got
team,
that
though,
guy DJ Jeter or something.
Oh, Dieter? Or no? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Something.
Yeah,
or
something.
Jeter Downs. Downs. He's one of the top prospects.
Garrett Dieter, I'm thinking of football player.
He's one of the top prospects. So they might be in on a Keuchel, and they also have one of the best closers in baseball in Marcelo Iglesias.
Mm-hmm.
So I like them a lot. The Rockies, LeMahieu is a free agent. They signed Daniel Murphy, so LeMahieu is probably walking, obviously.
Yeah, because he's not going to play short.
Do they keep Arenado? Do they trade him? Arenado, easily top 5 player in baseball.
Best third baseman in the game.
Unbelievable Hall of Famer, hands down. Wherever he goes,
can't,
it's going to be.
You can't move Arenado if you're the Rockies.
What
What else makes that team interesting? And it's not Rockies they'll contend for a wild card spot. They got a good lineup. They'll be all right. I mean, Cargo's completely fallen off, but you're not dealing Arenado because Cargo's now bad. You're gonna ride it. Arenado's a player you never give up. He's the Mike Trout. He's on that level. Like, I'm not saying they're equal talent, but they're on that level where you would there's no deal you could get that's greater value than that. Him as a player.
Told you.
What?
I don't know. No, so I don't know. I'm having like deja vu right now. About Arenado. I mentioned Arenado before, I thought.
Yeah, he's a world-class player. I saw him play against the Mets. He beat him.
I think I saw the Rockies against the Mets, too. Maybe it was the same game. It was a couple years ago.
Mine was last.
So then we go to the Royals. I think they got Billy Hamilton. Did they sign Billy Hamilton?
Yep, they picked
That's
him
an
up.
interesting move, stolen base-wise. Always
He's
good. But
basic,
if he gets on base, he steals, but he never gets on base kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tigers, do they trade Nick Castellanos? I love him. I want to see who gets him because I'm almost certain they're going to trade him. I don't know why. That's kind of stupid because the guy's been their best player the last
he's
2 years.
without a doubt.
Over Cabrera, even.
The Rays.
And then we go to the Rays. I love Blake Snell. He's
elite.
His curveball, 12-6 curveball.
And
He's just
the
nasty.
Rays are a good
one of the best
team.
pitches in baseball.
They won, what, like 88, 89 games?
They were unbelievable this year. And they got... they were rumored to get Nelson Cruz. They did not get him.
Yeah.
He went to the Minnesota Twins.
The Rays are the type of team, if they're in another division, I think there was just more hype around them.
But I still think Blake Snell is one of the probably top 5 pitcher in baseball.
Won Cy Young, right?
He won the Cy Young, well-deserved.
He's elite. He's been talked about for a while as one of the better young pitchers, and he's finally showing that.
But that's about it. That wraps it up pretty much. We named like the top teams. We like the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Indians, the Dodgers, the Astros, the Cubs, and the Cardinals. Brewers. He doesn't like the Mets, but I think the Mets will be better this year than people think. And we still have a lot of all season to go. Harper and Machado hasn't signed. We'll see what happens. You don't know.
But the Mets aren't even close.
All right, he's just a hater. And
That's
we're going to end it on that note. End it on that note, guys.
All
right, thanks for listening.
See ya.